Traveling in a classic car is a huge adventure. Who knows if it's going to make it? They need constant care and attention, especially when you're off the beaten track or parked in a meter of water. How do you get back on the road again? We've asked Land Rover guru Rob to shine a light on the subject and help us understand the technical side of maintenance and repair.
Is this a problem, this curly stuff?
Is this a problem, this curly stuff? While we're here, we have the washers and wipers. Okay, so if we should have water, and we should have wipers, and also the wiper blades themselves, there should be no cuts or tears on them. And again, you can do a very, very simple visual check. Basically, you run your finger down the edge and you look for slits and tears. And we have
Can you see that?
a split wiper blade.
Okay, so that needs to be replaced. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Add it to the list.
Again, if you think about it, you know, this cleans the windscreen, and if it's not there, then you end up with a flat piece which doesn't do anything. So,
And is it always better to replace them both at the same time?
well, if you know that they are the same age, then you're going to have
You may as well.
round about the same sort of problem. You know, I mean, you have to check them both anyway, so. And this one,
Yeah,
funnily
it's the
enough,
same.
has
Yeah,
gone the same.
Same spot.
In the same place. So again, so that's a failure, so that needs to be replaced. Now, Land Rovers are notorious for eating seatbelts. What normally happens is that this part catches there, and then when you close the door,
Yeah.
it eats the seatbelt.
Yes.
Okay. So, somebody's been creative and created a little guard here that protects the seatbelt from.
Isn't that
The
normally
door.
here?
That's not normally there.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Clever.
For those of you who do have Land Rovers, my little tip is stick the seatbelt there. Doesn't get caught in the door anymore. Okay. And for me, it's the biggest failure of Land Rovers is the seatbelts.
Okay.
Okay.
A little bit of worries. So is that okay?
Well, what I'm going to show you, we've got a pen. Here we go. Take my glasses off so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. What you're looking for is that if it's an inertia reel system, which is what you have here,
That's a pulley one.
that you pull it out all the way, and what you're doing is you're checking for splits and tears and wear in the whole of the belt. Okay. Also, that the inertia reel mechanism itself works. So inside here, there's a little counterweight, there's a little ratchet, and as as you brake hard or go around the corner, that counterweight moves and then engages a little pin onto the ratchet. That stops you from moving. Okay. As we go through, we get to the point where they all get damaged. And here, I don't know if you can see, here we have a split.
Okay.
Now, the acid test is if I take the end of a pen, put it here, and if I rub my finger over it, okay,
And you can feel the nib.
and if you can feel the nib,
So that one's borderline.
this one is borderline. Question is, does the pen work? Yes, it does. Okay.
Oh, so you're looking to mark your finger?
Yeah, and if my finger gets marked, so if it came back looking like that,
Then it would be
then
a fail.
that's a fail. Okay, this one's a bit borderline, Now my own personal recommendation is that once you start getting splits and tears in your seatbelt, bear in mind this thing is supposed to hold you, okay, then yeah,
It's better to replace it.
it's better to replace it, okay. As I say, it hasn't gone, but it is a bit borderline, okay.
So there's going to be need to replace it soon.
So that would be an advice.
Okay. But for now it shouldn't fail.
For now, it shouldn't fail.
Yeah.
Okay. So check the seatbelt again. Again, we pull it all the way out. It should move smoothly as well. And the inertia part works. You check all the way down. And on this side, we don't have a little guard going around here.
Okay.
So, and again, we check, and you can see
A little bit of rifling on the side, is that a problem? If it's too bad.
if it's too bad. A little tip for you
Yeah.
is that what you can do is run a lighter down the side
Burn it, yeah.
and burn off any of the little strands.
Okay.
Okay, so, but you know, while you're looking at all of this, it's not that you're trying to cover up something for the MOT.
Yeah. You
that
need it to be safe.
You need it to be safe. So, you know, you've got to kind of look at it and think, right, okay, this is going to hold, you know,
Trust
my
my
wife,
life
my
with
child,
this.
myself, whoever,
Yeah.
you know, do I trust my life with it? If, you know, if you are unsure, well, you know,
Rather just
for me, I
replace
would
it.
replace it.
Yeah.
Okay. The seats also have to be anchored to the car. It's nice having a seatbelt that holds you, but
Yeah.
not very nice if the seat carries on going as well. Okay, and that there is
Yeah.
not acceptable. So on the Defenders, you've got the 2 pins at the back.
Yeah.
Those 2 pins, which fit into these holes. So the seat base must be in, and it clicks in to the base down here,
And that's the next to it.
and it should click in firmly. So,
And this is cute, I think.
yeah, this is a little okay. It should.
So that's the front.
For me, I'm not 100% happy with it. Because what actually happens is that, if, again, you've got to kind of think, if you're in an accident, then this seat base with you or your passenger on it potentially can move forward. Okay? So, and, you know, then what happens? Because you then start to slip underneath the seatbelt. So, you know, you may have to fix that. Okay. So, and again, the seat back should be solid. There is a rule for the people with the older Land Rovers where the seats are the 2-piece seats. So where you don't have one frame, but you basically have got a cushion there and a cushion here, and then it sits on the bulkhead at the back, like my lightweight. Then the rear seat ones should be fastened to the bulkhead. Okay. Normally they've got a little leather strap, and that's enough. All it says is that it has to be anchored to the vehicle. And anchoring it to the vehicle with a little leather strap that is this big actually is part of, you know, that passes on the regulations. It is bizarre, but that's what it is.
I mean, that little piece of leather is
Doesn't do a lot,
no,
yeah,
no,
but it's still
yeah.
physically attached.
Okay.
You could, you know,
Use tie wraps.
in all seriousness, you could get a piece of baling twine, put it around the seat, and attach it to the vehicle. That's all that the regulation says. It has to be attached.
Okay. But it doesn't say how.
Doesn't say how. No. Again, it's up to the, you know, it's up to the guy to actually come up with what his interpretation is. Yeah. All right. So here, the pin should be sitting actually in the slot. So, like that. But it pops back out. And that's because this rail is slightly further forward than the rail on the other side. So it needs a bit of adjustment. Okay? So, but as I say, that means that, you know, if you're travelling, even at 30 miles an hour, you know, 50 kilometres an hour, you know, and you stop all of a sudden because you've hit something, that there, potentially, you can do that.
Yeah.
If you want it. So,
Oh, there you go.
there you go. Now it works. So, bit of adjustment. Alright. Again on the seatbelt, after you've checked to make sure that the condition of it, it also has to fit into the hasp. Okay? So, and if my delightful cameraman would pass me the seatbelt from this side, and the
Clasp.
can't get the stuff these days. Again, it should work. And again, the mountings, you know, for the seat belts, they have to be secure to the vehicle. All right. So.
What you say?
Yeah. Okay. So on the Defenders from 1983 all the way through to current date, the battery is underneath the left-hand seat box. Okay.
Right or left hand drive? Doesn't matter.
It's under the left-hand seat box.
So it doesn't matter.
So it doesn't matter. Okay.
Makes sense.
That's why I deliberately didn't say it's underneath the driver's seat, because on a vehicle with steering on the other side, it isn't. Okay. So, and battery on the earlier vehicles, it's actually in the engine compartment. Okay. So, but basically, wherever the battery is, what you have to do is check that the battery is securely attached to the vehicle. Again, think about it. If you're in an accident, then you don't want the battery to move, and you don't want it to then fall out, because then you've got it hanging by two wires, for instance, causing a short circuit, then causing a fire, that sort of thing. Okay? So,
We put this in as a bit of an extra anti-shock measure.
is that
Didn't we?
anti-shock that's to suppress the surprise of the MOT tester?
So, the battery.
I'm shocked. Okay, so we have a battery.
Yes.
Okay. Normally, it would be sitting this way.
Yeah,
Okay.
but we had
But,
two.
okay, but you had two.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can have as many batteries in here as you like, as long as they are all securely fastened down. And what you need is some form of strap that then bolts through to the bottom of the seat box, and in effect, it shouldn't, needs a little bit of adjustment, but it shouldn't move. Okay, it should be secure. Okay, so, and that's secure. That works for me. Okay,
The seat back after
Yeah.
the battery and it's,
and it's solid. That's good.
so that's okay.
Okay.
Check.
All right. Again, for seating in the rear, do we have seatbelts?
Yes!
Okay. What I would say is that now you're going to go in and dig out the seatbelts.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay. So, when you take your car for its MOT,
Yeah.
all right,
Good to have them ready.
make sure that the back is empty.
Yeah?
Okay.
Yes. So we don't have to do this.
Yeah. Basically, try and make it so that the tester doesn't have to empty your vehicle before he can do the test. Okay.
Just to irritate the...
Well, not only does it irritate him, but you will be charged for the time that he takes all that stuff out of the vehicle. So if he has to spend half an hour unpacking a vehicle, especially these days with the later vehicles where you have, for instance, 7 seats, and a lot of people have the 2 additional seats in the rear, and they are in the floor, and they never use them.
Yeah. Yeah. But they're still...
But every year, I then have to empty the back of somebody's car,
Okay.
find the seats and the seat belts, and then make sure that they are working. Now, that just costs me time and effort.
Yeah.
So,
Save
kind of
time.
think before you go to make sure that everything is accessible and that it's there. The other thing is that as a tester, we notice these sort of things that if somebody has taken the time so that the vehicle comes already prepared, then psychologically we kind of already think, well, okay, then you know,
car's being looked after.
it is being looked after. If the car turns up and it's shabby, it still may pass the test, but you will be, how can I put this?
Judge more critically.
Yeah, you can. Okay, so you really have to start looking.
It's the same principles as bookkeeping. If you've got everything in a shoebox, as opposed to filed away neatly into books.
Correct. You know, so as I say, the test should be impartial no matter what the state of the vehicle. But as I said to you earlier, what you actually have is not a set of hard and fast rules, but a set of guidelines, and how you interpret them. So we have a bench seat, and we should have some seat belts
We've got one seat
that
belt
work.
here. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
That's new.
Wow. Okay.
That's from the.
So, but it's, as I say, these ones are lap straps, and they're perfectly acceptable.
Yes.
Okay. And they do click in and they do work. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And yes, that works.
Okay.
So yeah, that works.
Right. Good.
We didn't have any this side.
Ah,
We
okay.
don't have a
That's
seat.
fine. Okay. And again, the seat should be mounted,
Yeah, this is.
and it is.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Yes, it's
seem
mounted-
like
yes,
much,
it's
but
mounted at
in
the
actual
back, yeah.
fact, that is acceptable.
Yeah.
It is tied onto the vehicle,
Yeah.
and it
Oh,
is
yes.
bizarre that there is classed as
tied.
attached to the vehicle.
Okay.
So
This is okay.
that's good. Yeah. So
Excellent. So it's better to have everything just empty and ready.
have it nice and
for-
tidy, and you will not have, you know.
It's much easier.
It is much easier. But again, it's a wiper blade, it's not a huge amount of money. And again, it's very, very simple to change. I mean, I can show you. People always get confused with the especially with the Defender ones, which is, you know, how do you get this off? Well, there's a little button around the back here that you press, and you push. It sounds like you should pull it off, but they actually push it.
Yeah. Oh, to get it out of that loop.
And then bring the loop round the side. And that's the wiper blade off. New one on in the same place.
Okay.
And it should click and it's on.
Okay, can I try
And
that?
that takes 2 seconds of my time, but it would probably cost you a little bit for the fitting in the garage.
Oh heavens, if I can do this, anyone can. And then you just pull this out.
No, this one.
Oh,
you
the whole
can,
thing gets replaced.
you can change the blade, but in actual fact nowadays they sell the whole of the wiper. So you
right.
can replace the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So now you can put it back on. Yeah. So goes in there.
Okay, getting it off was easier.
Push it
Oh,
down.
yeah, that helps.
That way.
Oh,
Make sure
man.
it clicks.
Yeah, it
Feel
has.
it click. Yeah.
Yeah.
Click. Cool. Put it on.
Oh, that's easy enough.
Okay. So most of
can
the
do
wiper
that.
blades on the Land Rovers are the same. Okay. Same method of fixing. There are a couple of the earlier ones that, when I say earlier ones, around about the 90s that had a pin arrangement. Okay. But again, it's very, very easy to replace.
Okay.
If the garage does it, then they're going to charge you a labour cost. And they're going to charge. You undo that bolt there. You undo the bolt at the top here.
Yeah.
There is a bolt in behind this cover, and you undo the bolt that holds this one in.
Okay.
Okay. One thing I would say about the about Land Rover seatbelts is that they are all. They are all different, depending on the year of the vehicle, the model, and so forth. And at work, we have a bit of a nightmare with the variations. So at the bottom there is a label. There should be a part number, and in this case, this one is MRC 7737.
Okay.
Now that number there, you can use that, and that's
order a new
exactly
one.
to order the new one.
Okay.
Okay, and as I say, there are There are seat belts for hard tops, there are seat belts for soft tops, there are seat belts for station wagons, and there are seat belts for 90s, there are seat belts for 110s, 130s. There's a whole myriad of variations.
Okay.
So you can't just go and say, I want a seat belt.
Yeah.
In this sort of thing, alright, and you have some extra cabling in here. You've got to start thinking that, you know, I've got a live terminal here, and the rest of the vehicle is the earth, and therefore.
Is this the earth?
No, this is the main earth cable for the vehicle.
Okay.
This one here. So, and the whole of the vehicle now is attached to the negative side of the battery, and then the plus. So any wires that are in here shouldn't have the ability to touch each other. This is not necessarily for the MOT. It's just kind of common sense for your own safety as well. Yeah. Okay. And you should sort of check that everything is out the way and not. And especially with the Defenders, where you've got the cover that goes away and you're sitting on it. Yes, could get embarrassing.
I mean, the seat is metal at the bottom.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's here.
Yeah. Okay.
So are we happy with this?
So I'm happy with that. So.